All right, welcome back into another episode of the Show Baseball Podcast presented by Beyond the Monster. I am your host, Andrew Parker. And today's episode, we are joined by Brendan Girton of the New York Mets system. And Brendan is coming off a Pitcher of the Week award there for Brooklyn for 5 no-hit innings in his outing last week. So that will obviously get you a Pitcher of the Week award. So we do kind of dive into the outing. Obviously going through a no-hit outing is, pretty special. So we do dive into that, maybe in a little bit on his first full pro season so far. And we also talk, obviously, he's an Oklahoma guy. So we do mention, growing up there in a town of 300 people and going to Texas Tech, then OU to finish it off. And we talk about how special Oklahoma has been to pro baseball. There is OU guys everywhere in the sport. So we do dive into all that and more. So before I do get to the interview, though, please, whether you're watching me on YouTube, listen in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is, please like, subscribe, making a big push right now on the YouTube channel. It is free to subscribe there. And every subscribe means a lot to me, and I always appreciate it. But without further ado, let me shoot you on to the interview with Brendan Girton. All right, I am joined by Brendan Girton of the Mets organization. And Brendan is fresh off being named a Pitcher of the Week there for his performance this past week. And you had an outing, I think that might be one of your best of your season. I won't speak for you, but I know you had a hitless and shutout outing there this past week. And that's actually where I want to start. Obviously, you're coming off a good outing, and you've put together a few good outings here lately. So how are you feeling lately? I guess what's the season been like for you so far?
Pretty good, just in a good rhythm. I mean, trying to stay on a good routine, and I think that's kind of just helped me, just staying on a routine and just being diligent about the way I go about things, just whether it's arm care or weight room or whatever, just trying to stay consistent with that.
So was it at least like a little hard? I know obviously you weren't going to probably go a full game for
Yeah.
the try to attempt a no-hitter. Was it tough for you to leave the mound that day?
Oh, yeah, it was. Well, like, Gomi, our head coach, came up to me and he like shook my hand. He was like, "Great job." I was like, "What? How many pitches I throw?" And like he just walked away. And like after the game, I talked to him about it, and he was like, "Listen, I didn't even want to hear what you were gonna say because I wanted to keep you in the game, but I couldn't. Like we just had a lot of guys that needed to throw that day, so it was kind of like it was something that we had to do. But yeah,
Yeah.
that stunk. But I mean, oh well.
Yeah, I feel like it's very, very, very. I feel like you never see it. Like a guy actually go like all 9.
Yeah.
Usually, you always see like the combined no hitters or whatever it is. So I
Right.
feel like it wasn't probably in the cards that day, but it's still pretty cool to go 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was cool.
Was that the first time in your career, like even college or even dating back to high school, that you've gone 5 no-hit innings?
Yeah, I would probably so. I mean, I didn't really pitch in high school. I was a catcher because I come from like literally the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma. Like, there's nobody that lives there. But yeah, so I didn't pitch much in high school, and yeah, that would probably I was probably my best outing ever, if I would say that or the 9 strikeout one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, that's also a good thing too. You're a little fresh pitching. You got less miles on the arm, so I feel like that
yeah,
might help you in the end. All right, so obviously you're off to a pretty good start this year in High A, and last year coming into your first pro season. What kind of things have you noticed so far about like being in High A? Whether it's like the competition, being in new areas. Like, what has been your experience so far?
I mean, it's been kind of cool getting to experience these new areas up in like the Northeast. Like in Brooklyn, it's kind of like I kind of like it. Like I don't mind being in Brooklyn. It's
Wow.
interesting and it's a cool place to play. I mean, I like just traveling around, seeing all these different places. Like I really enjoyed that, just like getting to experience all these different places and going and seeing different things.
So you're telling me a kid from small town Oklahoma is actually not hating the concrete jungle
No,
out there?
no, I'm not hating it. It's different for sure. There's things I love, things I hate, but I mean, it's not too bad.
There's just people everywhere. It's
Oh, I
like just
know.
people are in a hurry all the time, not in a
Oh,
great
yeah.
mood all the time, but it's
Yeah,
good. It's got its perks.
you can get yelled at for, like, absolutely nothing, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
people just rage over there.
Well, okay, so tell me about the food scene then. I know obviously New York's known for having some pretty good food, especially pizza, things like that. Maybe you couldn't get good pizza in Oklahoma. I don't know. Never really been through there. So how has that been?
So, I mean, yeah, I've tried the pizza a few times. So me and Ryan Lambert, like, we're like best of friends pretty much. And like, me and him in the off season, we trained at this place called Pitching Works, and we ate like steak and chicken and egg, like raw egg, stuff like that every single day. Like, not pretty much every single day. Yeah. And so, like, I'm trying to keep that same diet because, like, I liked how I felt. I liked how I looked. Like, so I've been pretty still strict on that diet of like meat, a lot of meat and fruit and stuff like that.
Okay, all right. So staying
Yeah.
away from the New York style pizza.
But I
I
mean,
understand.
now I'm not saying I haven't tried it. It's really good when I do try it, but I try to stay away from it as much as I can.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you actually you just led me to the next thing I wanted to ask you about. Obviously you are coming up on, I think next month, a year from when you were drafted into pro ball, and it's something that obviously you've had your first pro off season under your belt and your first pro spring training under your belt. So you did kind of just mention where you were training at over the off season, but what did you use your off season for? Did you were you trying to gain velo? Was it something that, you were trying to work with your pitch mix? Like what kind of things were you doing?
I mean, definitely trying to work on my pitch mix. Just trying to get better at landing off speed stuff. Just get better at pitching, just the pitching aspect of it. Like, I worked on a sinker a little bit there, which is now I'm starting to bust out like just now, and it's been a really good pitch. Just really working on execution and stuff like that, but also like really focused on the weight room side. I've always been big in the weight room, but I really focused on what I was eating. I probably left. I probably September. I left St. Lucie at like 2:30, and I probably came back 2:10, 2:08, somewhere around there. So I lost a little bit of weight, got where I can move a little bit better, and I think that's really helped me. Is like just moving way better. I feel more explosive, I guess.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of impressed with Baseball Reference right now. Your page has you listed at 217, so I'm kind of impressed that they got. That sometimes they're not very close. I feel like they at
Yeah,
least got in the ballpark on you
yeah,
there. Um,
yeah.
so obviously you're in your first off season under your belt now. You go into your first spring training, which I'm sure was a whirlwind for you because that is the one time of the year that every single player in the organization is there at one setting. What was your first spring training like? I guess what was your experience like?
I mean, it was crazy, but I got a lot better, I would say. I mean, I just remember like one of the first things they showed me, it was like, this is where your stuff plays. And like, this is probably what changed my mind a little bit about pitching is like, they showed me a left-handed batter and a right-handed batter, and the whole strike zone like was filled. Like, if I throw it in the zone, my stuff plays. Like, it doesn't matter where it's at, it plays. And so like changing that outlook of like I don't have to like paint spots to be a really good pitcher, and like that's probably where I've changed from college to now is like I'm throwing it like if you beat me, you beat me. Whereas like in college, I'm like I'm gonna hit this spot and whatever happens, happens. But like I'm gonna throw it. I'm gonna throw it. I'm gonna come right at you if you beat me. If you beat me, like that's kind of my outlook at it.
Yeah, and obviously, you were a draftee last year. You had gotten a small taste in low A to end the season. You're in high A, so I know that obviously the lower level guys probably don't get much interaction or face time with the big league guys or hell even the AAA guys. But was there ever any times that maybe you were with some of the guys from high A or double A or possibly AAA that you got to pick any brains while you were down there? Like, did anything like that go down?
I mean, I would pick brains of like guys at spring training and stuff like that, like pitch grips and stuff. But it's not like me talking to a bunch of big leaguers and stuff. Like I've been talking a little bit to Mania because the rehab starts, and dude's a super good guy. Like seems like a super nice dude, and like I picked his brain a little bit, but like about the mental side of it more so. Just because like when I was at OU, he has a guy that works at OU that like helps him with the mental side of stuff. And so like I just picked his brain a little bit about that, but I haven't like really gone into depth about stuff, I guess I would say.
So something that we kind of touched on earlier, you're from a small town there in Oklahoma, and you had gone to Texas Tech, and you finished at OU. Did you ever think, let's just take me back to, I guess, even like the year, let's take you back to 2019, 2020, before you started at Texas Tech. Did you ever think in your lifetime that you would be playing baseball in Brooklyn, New York, and all these places that baseball's taken you? Is that kind of crazy to think about?
I mean, like, I was pretty like I threw the ball pretty hard in high school. Like I was up to 96. So like I knew there was a possibility of this happening. It probably took a little bit longer than I was hoping just because like I didn't pitch in high school. So it was like a long process of like learning how to pitch and like just and I'm far from being an expert on it, but I'm just like I feel like I'm getting better at the aspect of pitching and stuff like that. But I mean, I had a feeling like this could happen, yeah. Like it was in the back of my head. I always had a really good arm, I guess, is what I would say. What I would say.
Okay. Yeah, I was always curious because sometimes you're just like, never in my right mind would I think I'd be like in professional
Yeah.
baseball in Brooklyn, New York right now. Like I'm from Oklahoma or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Um,
It's
all right.
crazy. It's crazy saying that because I am from a town of 300. But like, I don't know. I've just always had like I definitely have a shot like to
I love that.
make it. Yeah.
No, I love that mindset. I gotta have it.
Yeah.
It's just like speak it into existence. Just kind of like, I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, I have to ask a question because it's something that I am curious about. Obviously you finished up your college career at University of Oklahoma there in Norman. You started off started off your college career at another Big 12 school in Texas Tech. I guess like, is that what made you want to like switch to OU? I know it's closer to home and everything. Was that like the big factor in it?
Well, it's that, and like I've had like my great grandpa played baseball there. Like it was a big deal for me to go there. I like my dad was all about me going to OU, so it was just kind of like, you know, I wanted to do it, and it was just, that was kind of something I wish I could do, just because when I was originally get recruited out of high school, like OU wasn't what they are probably now, I guess is what I'm saying, and they were really good, like in 2022, good in 2023, and I was like, I want to go play for OU.
Yeah, I like I had mentioned off air before we started recording. I had David Sandlin on a couple weeks back, and so Nathan Wiles, a couple other Sooners, recent pro Sooners, and it's something that I like to ask them is just like Oklahoma has pro guys everywhere in professional
Yeah,
baseball, like everywhere. You were just talking about it, before we started recording that you got 3 Oklahoma guys. That's they're everywhere, and even guys from the state of Oklahoma are everywhere. So can you kind of talk about like your experience, I guess, playing, there for OU, and obviously the program, like you just mentioned it, their program now is light years ahead of where it was even 5-10 years ago. So it's like,
yeah.
can you kind of talk about like where that was and how it was playing there?
I just think like Skip does a really good job of like making it seem like a family, and I mean he really trusts in his guys, and like he's a really good pitching coach. So I mean he knows how to develop velocity, knows how to develop guys. I mean Kyson Witherspoon's prime example. Like I remember whenever I was there last year, and like we were training, and I mean yeah, like I saw him, I was like he looks good. Just he was a little wild, more wild at the time, and now he's got to be probably a top 10 pick. Like he's just a stud, and Skip's really good at developing guys like that.
Yeah, they're everywhere, man. Like I'm telling you, like as soon as I, reach out to you, I'm like, another Oklahoma guy. It's crazy, man. Guys are everywhere.
That is crazy. That is
All
crazy.
right. I want to ask you, obviously, every single week in minor league baseball, you have an off day on Monday. And I want to know, what do you do? Like, what do you usually do on the off day? Let's say you're not on a bus traveling somewhere or anything like that. Like, you're at home. What do you do on your Monday off day?
Well, like sometimes I go to Times Square. Some of the guys and I will go to like Times Square. We usually like well, at least go eat somewhere decent in Brooklyn, just like whether it's an Italian place or whatever. But like that's kind of our what we kind of do on the off day is like go eat somewhere decent. But we really don't do a whole lot. It's kind of like you're playing so much. You're like you really just want to take that off day, and so I kind of just take advantage of that, and just chill, play video games with the guys or whatever. But we got a really cool team. Like we got a special group, so we're all pretty close.
I don't know if I'm hearing this correctly. Are you a pitcher that does not golf on the off day?
I don't golf. I do not golf. I
Sheesh.
know. I know. That is weird. That's a weird thing to say. I'll golf when I'm back home, but I'm pretty horrible. Like I can hit it really far, but it isn't straight. slices every time.
Wow. Yeah, just know, and you probably already know this, you're in
Yeah,
a very, very small minority of pitchers that do
yeah.
not golf.
I know.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. We'll just chalk it up to it's the catcher in you that you didn't start pitching till late,
right.
and we'll let that happen.
Yeah, I was a catcher for too long.
Okay. So are you the only pitcher in the starting rotation in Brooklyn that is not golfing on an off day, or are you safe out of that boat?
I mean, no, there's a lot of guys that are golfing on. I mean, I don't know about all the golf courses in Brooklyn, anyways, just because
Yeah, that's true.
there isn't that much grass.
Yeah, that's a good call. Good call.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of guys. Now I know there is some that will go on off days, but yeah, not a whole lot of guys are probably because of our location though.
Yeah, I was gonna say most guys I'm talking to that are in high A or down in like the Carolinas or
Yeah,
somewhere, and it's like, hey, we got golf courses everywhere, and it's all this. But I
might
guess you're
as
in a little
well. Yeah,
unique situation. Yeah. All right.
yeah,
So something that I like asking as well, obviously, we've been talking about it a little bit, just like being away from home and everything like that. Did you have how long did it take you to get truly adjusted? I don't want to say culture shock, but it's a very different way of life, like we had, already talked about. So how long did that take you to, just kind of get over the fact of I'm away from, my friends, family, everything in Oklahoma. I'm out on the East Coast, I'm in a different time zone. They got to fly to me now. How long did that take you to really get adjusted?
I don't know. I feel like just being at Texas Tech. I mean, it's still. I mean, I never went home when I was there. I didn't really go home much whenever I was at OU, besides like the breaks and stuff. So it really didn't bother me all that much. I mean, I can call my family, call my friends. Like I play video games with my friends. Like still keep up with them that way. So it's like, yeah. I mean, it's. I don't know. I don't view it as like it's that tough, But I've kind of just gotten used to it over the years of being in
All right.
college.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, sometimes when I think about it, in Lubbock, you are obviously pretty far.
Yeah,
Lubbock is out there. It's in the middle of nowhere. But
it's in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, but
yeah,
so is where I'm from. If you ever saw where I was from, you would say the same thing.
I'm gonna look it up on a map after this,
You
and
need to
I'll
look up
be like,
Gage, Oklahoma. Yeah, it's there ain't nothing there.
okay, just maybe a Brahms, and that's it. No,
No,
not even a
no.
Brahms. All right.
Like the nearest Walmart's like 30 minutes away. The nearest Brahms like 30 minutes away. Like it's just
Wow.
there's nothing. There ain't nothing there. Yeah.
Okay. By the way, big fan of Brahms. I'll hand up.
Brahms is
Um,
fire. Brahms, I miss that. I miss Brahms.
Love Brahms, dude. Love it.
Yeah.
I got two questions left for you, and I will let you slide. Um, First one, I gotta ask: Are you big Oklahoma City guy? Are you watching this Thunder run?
Yeah, I'm watching the Thunder. Like I've been to a few games over the years. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
would you consider yourself obviously a big fan of? Obviously, they're the only pro sports team in the state
Yeah.
of
I would
Oklahoma.
say I
So
would say I'm a decent fan of the Thunder. Yeah.
okay, is it kind of cool what they're doing right now because they're essentially putting Oklahoma on the map. They're in the NBA Finals. I know they've been
Yeah.
there before. I get that. They had KD and all that back in the day. But is it kind of cool that they're doing it again? That the Oklahoma's kind of relevant right now.
Yeah, I did say like if they did win, I'd be a little jealous that I'm not back in Oklahoma, like just for that. But yeah, I mean it's crazy what they're building because they're all young and they're not going anywhere. Like they're going to be around for a while, so it's going to be tough for the NBA if they keep playing as well.
Yeah, Sandlin said the same thing. He's like, I'm only mad that I'm gonna have to have FOMO when all my friends are at the parade and
Yeah,
things
see,
like
I
that.
bet
And
all my friends are there. I bet all my friends are at that parade or whatever. I hope they win it, but yeah,
yeah, it's looking good. But
yeah,
all right, I got one last question here for you. Obviously, you are coming off a Player of the Week award for minor league baseball, which I'm sure is not something that you went into the week saying I want to win that. It happened. You got recognized, which is very cool feeling for you, most likely. So. We are creeping closer towards the All-Star break, which is what most consider the halfway point in baseball. For yourself, do you have anything goals wise that you want to hit by midseason, whether it's stats, personal, what do you want to accomplish by midseason?
I mean, just keep putting together quality starts. Just continue to landing like my sinker and stuff. Keep on getting better at using those pitches, just because they are new and I'm not, 100% confident in them at times. So like just getting the confidence to throw that, getting the confidence to throw the splitter in game because that's another pitch I'm adding to my repertoire, and just get more confidence with those pitches.
All right, Brendan. Well, obviously, thank you so much for hopping on and doing this, and we wish you the best of luck going forward here in 2025, and hope to maybe possibly see it getting closer to Double A towards the end of the year. But thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.